Did you check out the NFL 100 this year?
No, I didn't.
No? Fuck. We can't have that conversation.
I haven't watched anything, man.
The hell's wrong with you, man? You gotta watch something. You said you play that Call of Duty Warfare, so if you got time to do that, you got time to do other stuff. Anyways, they got fucking Lamar Jackson as number one,
Mhm.
Russell Wilson number two, Aaron Donald number three, and Patrick Mahomes number four.
Wow, that's.
They got two other quarterbacks ahead of Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, I thought you said three other.
No, Aaron Donald is a defensive end.
They just saying. Oh, they just saying top 100 and.
Yeah, the top 100. But the blatant disrespect on Mahomes, like all of the media is like unanimous that Mahomes is number one. But when it comes to the players' choices, they said nope, Mahomes is number four. And the thing about that is, last year he was number four, but he didn't win a Super Bowl. He just won MVP. But now that he won a Super Bowl and MVP for the Super Bowl, they still got him as the same. Like, but they got Lamar Jackson as number one, and he can't even win a playoff game or beat Mahomes.
Yeah. I think so when you're looking at like the whole player thing though, so the difference between a player is like players view like the top when they like do their top 100. When a player does their top 100, they do the person who gives them the most problem. You know what I'm saying? So, like somebody could be better, right? But like the other person's style of play could be just harder for you. You know, so that's the reason. That's the only reason why I can say that I would think that they would put Mahomes down that low. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel that. I mean, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I mean, because it's kind of like because it's all matchup things, right? So if I'm a like say if I'm a linebacker and if I'm a linebacker and your team has like a super hard like running back, right?
Uh-huh.
That super hard running back might be like would be probably a harder challenge for me than say your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Dropping back in the flats and reading the plays. So um, but even though that quarterback would be more valuable, but like as far as like just assignments, like taking on like a certain assignments, um, that would be why players would put certain players. That's why players who you would never think would be in a position, amongst the players, would be in their position because some people are just harder to deal with. It's kind of like, say basketball where somebody's like really, like you take somebody like Anthony Davis, who's really good, right? Um, uh, but versus somebody whose stats are not as impressive, but they like just a beast down in the post, like they just beat you up when they play it, right? So it's a Anthony Davis, yeah, he's gonna score, like his stats are gonna be filled up, but like you're gonna have a rougher time with like say somebody else who's just like you know like bullying you down there in the post, or somebody like Joe Embiid, or somebody that's rougher down in the pocket.
I mean, I get that, but you as a football player and you going against Lamar Jackson and going against Mahomes, you would feel the same rankings. You would put Lamar ahead of Mahomes.
I know that'll be a hard one. It'll depend on what position I played. So, but based on the position that I played in football, the positions I played on defense, um, that'll be that'll be tough because it'll be tough because they both can run, right?
Yeah, but Mahomes is a little slower.
Mahomes is a little slower, but based on like for as far as me, I was fast too, so I wasn't really worried about somebody being faster because they got to run past me
Yeah.
in a way, you know what I'm saying? But it does. But Lamar Jackson would break out of the pocket. He'll jump out of the pocket much faster than Mahomes would. Mahomes will look for the pass, right?
True. True.
So like I I would say Lamar Jackson would be a harder assignment because like you gotta always be on your. You don't know if he's gonna run or if he's gonna pass it, right? And
Yeah.
you always gotta be expecting him to run. So you might have to cheat up just a little bit more as far as Mahomes. He's trying to get that pass off and he's running as a last resort.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
So
as a player, like now as far as like passing efficiency and all that stuff, it'll be Mahomes. But if it's like, uh,
we talking about you specifically. Who would you hate to guard the most?
I'm, it'll be Lamar Jackson because
Okay.
like I would have to deal with that. I would have to deal with that running more often, and
Okay.
it'll wear you down more. Like say like because like a linebacker, right? Like say he rolled out like Lamar Jackson, rolled out into a bootleg. I gotta roll out into the flats with him, right? Um, and it's more likely that he's gonna run, you know. So
Yeah.
at least with Mahomes, it's like, ooh, he might pass it. I might get batted down or something, right?
Yeah.
But like Lamar Jackson is gonna be, he's likely gonna run it.
Okay. Same question: Mahomes or Russell Wilson?
I would, I was Mahomes would be harder. I mean,
Okay.
Russell Wilson, he'll run it, but he's not. He'll run it or pass it, but
Now, would Wilson's height factor in? Because
yeah,
Mahomes, yeah, because Mahomes is like 6'3" ish, 6'4".
yeah, yeah. That height will factor in because he has to look over. So, like, especially if I'm not a tall linebacker. I'm not tall, but like, say a tall linebacker, you messing up his vision some too, right?
Yeah.
Um, so is a better chance that he might make a mistake, right? But then, like, like Russell Wilson can run, but he's not.
He's not what?
He's not like he's not a runner like Lamar Jackson or
True.
Mahomes. Like
True.
he could run, but uh, but yeah, he's not like them.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Now, I know you are a Saints fan, and I'm only saying this because people listen to this don't know who you are. By the way, this is Fina. Fina the Great, rapper, artist, and so many other things that he got going on. I mean, you want to introduce yourself?
that's good. That's good.
You don't want them to know nothing else, huh? All right. Now he is a Saints fan, and as we all know, Saints has been cursed when it comes to the playoffs, especially recently.
Yeah.
So Breeze went on I believe it was Twitter. I don't know if you follow Twitter or not, but he would after the all this stuff with the police brutalities and all this stuff, the Black Lives Matter, all that stuff started going on, and the president says, his presidential, the shit that he usually say that gets people riled up. And Breeze went on to an interview and said, "Well, definitely this year, I'm not taking a knee." Like, why would he bring that up when after all this shit that's been brought up recently, like taking a knee and it's about the anthem is no longer an excuse. You know what I mean? Like, why are you still saying it's about the flag when like the majority of your peers, I'm talking about Breeze,
Mhm.
majority of his peers after these recent incidents now realize why Kaepernick took that knee. Now, a lot of his teammates and the rest of the NFL went on Twitter to pretty much like shit on Brees. And then like later on, Brees issued an apology saying that he stands for the Black Lives Matter and all that other stuff. But it wasn't until after his own teammates pretty much turned his back on him that he was like, "Oh, I fucked up."
Well, so like the thing with the whole Brees thing, right? Like because I think I don't know the exact quote, but it was something to the effect that I disagree with anybody who disrespects the American flag, right?
Yeah.
Or disrespects the flag. Now, this like what Breeze was doing right there is issuing the safe answer, right?
Yep.
That's what he was doing. Because he's been asked that same question before, and he gave the exact same answer, but it didn't matter. Is like the world that we live in right now, at this moment, with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and the protests and all that stuff, like everything that's going on, the whirlwind is now you have to like pick a defining side.
Oh yeah.
So what Breeze was basically trying to do in that moment was,
make a business decision.
He was trying to, he was trying to like give the safe answer, which had been a safe answer in the past.
Yeah.
It's like, like you've been given an answer that's been working for you for the last, few years, and then now that answer don't work no more.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and that's basically what it is, He was just trying to give his safe answer.
You think his teammates gonna move on past this?
I think so, and the reason why I would think so is because because like Breeze, he is actually like really active in the community of New Orleans, which is predominantly African American, So like his actual like outfield actions doesn't, like say if he had like a questionable outfield life, like he didn't like, immerse himself in the community and, help where he could, and all that stuff, it'd be a different story, right?
So his actions speak louder than his words at this point.
Yeah, like if you like if you were closing note, like if you like, I mean, to the general public, the words always are louder than the actions because the general public really don't. They're not like looking into your life, right?
Yeah.
Right. But like, say if you know somebody, right? If you knew somebody and they, they did this and they, they lived this type of life, and they went out and said something that people was up in arms about it, because they was trying to, do the safe answer. Then you actually know what that person is about, so you can vouch for their character versus somebody on the outside looking in, or somebody on the outside looking in, or somebody on the outside that don't know anything about. They just know him as Drew Brees, the quarterback, the football player, and they don't know any of his, off the field actions. Then you're just like judging them based on what they just said. But and that goes for like every single thing that's ever been said online.
Exactly.
Right? Like everything. I mean, everything is like that. Like we crucify people for saying something. I mean, we crucify people for saying stuff. And a lot of these things is no right answer to a lot of the questions.
True.
Like, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. It's no right answer. Like say,
I mean, there is a right answer. You just have to be woke to what's actually going on.
No, it's not a right answer. The reason why it's not a right answer because you got one side that wants you to answer this way, and then you got another side that wants you to answer this another way, right? And so, like, you can't really give your real true answer. Or if you give your real true answer, you'll get crucified